Okay, we're recording now.
Oh my goodness, we're recording.
Oh my goodness. Oh, Jesus.
It's been roasting us all around today.
Who
Did you
was?
have yours, Dan?
Hmm?
Did you have your roasting
We had a
yourself?
stew and I did dumplings in it.
Ooh.
And I did crusty bread. Hot crusty bread,
Nice.
so I baked it. And we had stuffing as well, stuffing balls in the stew. So,
Nice.
and, he's got the emojis out. Didn't even know you could do that.
Whoa.
Dangerous. Anyway, good morning, good afternoon, or good bloody well evening, and welcome to CrossButton, our fortnightly deep dive into all things PlayStation. I am Dan, your host, your guide, even your muse for the next 30 minutes. I'm giving my usual big energetic Pierce high five to the other two resident ponies joining me this fine day. Come on, guys. There you go. First sound effect of the day. It's the God of War. Heather. Hi, Heather. You okay?
All right, thank you. Thank you.
And it is the God of Core Blimey. It's Laurie. Hi, Laurie.
Oi.
Yeah, hello, mate. And I am your chubby Thor. So, there we go. I'll be chubby Thor for the rest of the podcast. Guys, let's dive into it immediately. God of War, Ragnarok. We've all been playing it. Laurie, you got your copy a little bit late, so we didn't record on the day that we'd hoped. Heather, though, I'm going to come to you first because I suspect you probably played and completed this game already.
No, I am just up to hours
Adam did, mate.
20.
Hour 20 already. Okay.
20.
Yeah.
And are you doing quite a lot of side missions? Talk to me about your
All the
playthrough.
side missions.
All of the side
Yeah,
missions.
I am generally my plan is always not even a plan, it's just the play style. I like to get to the end of a game, and if I'm going to do the platinum run, I'm normally like less than 10% needed,
Right,
if
okay.
that makes sense. Like, or like we call it looty tooting, so I do a lot of like rooty tooty looty while I'm like going round.
Went
So
Geordie
When
then.
you say we call it that,
Yeah.
Rooty too G. Rooty too
Rooty tooty
G.
she says we call it that, she means like her and her cat. They call her that.
yeah, and you know my partner who I live with, it's not just me and Parson. Although that's all we've done today. To be fair, she's snoozed and I've played God of War. It's been beautiful.
Good. So in terms of your like story beats, everything you kind of been through, are you happy with where this compares to 2018 at the moment?
Yeah. I was like, yep, it's probably gonna be better, but we'll see. It's a sequel. I didn't feel like the Horizon sequel sort of overtook the first one, but yeah, where I'm up to now, I'm pretty happy that it has for me anyway.
Cool. And talk to me about story, Laurie. So how far are you in?
I'm like 3 hours in.
It's more than me.
I've been quite busy since it came out, so I've had a good play on it on Thursday night, and then maybe about an hour on Friday. But yeah, 3 hours in.
3 hours in. Okay. And story wise, you happy where it's going?
Yeah, it's great. I think it's got, like the first game, a very strong opening. We don't, no spoilers here, right, everyone? So we won't do any spoilers. But it's a very strong opening. I'll say that. I'm still at the point where I've got no idea where the story is going. Now I'm in those kind of early days where it's still all to unfold. I'm in that exciting time where anything could happen. I like the fact that where it started, where we're picking up with Kratos and Atreus, we can see that their relationship has moved on somewhat, and things have changed, and where they're living and what they're doing and stuff. It's just, I really like the setting we've been dropped into so far.
Cool. And in terms of like the Fimbulwinter setting, is that bothering you at all, either of you, or are you quite happy with the murky kind of snowy tone of this game?
I mean,
spoilers.
I wouldn't say I'm far enough in it yet to be bothered by it. Really, I have gone some to a new location already, and it's not. It's a different setting. So
There's different realms, and the
I mean, that's not a
forecast is
spoiler, right? We know that,
moderately
don't we?
different in each realm.
Yeah, the weather
Yeah.
forecast does change. But on that point though, I have on the kind of murkiness. That is one of the things that's been leading up to the release of this game. Is all of the marketing where it's just kind of all white and pale blue. I thought, this is not. Come on, you can make this look a bit more exciting visually. Like when you see the adverts for it on the tube and stuff, and it just looks like very pale and white and very like snowy, and it's just not very kind of visually complete opposite to like a Nintendo game release where it's just all bright colours and eye catching. I don't know. It's quite kind of it's not very eye catching. All these kind of whites and greys, and anyway, that's just my little aside thoughts there.
I like it. Okay, so we talked. We said we talked about story without spoilers, and we can't talk about the setting too much because we know it changes multiple times. Obviously, that's something we've alluded to. Happened in the first game. Talk to me about the mechanics of it at the moment. I don't think it's spoilery to mention that God of War introduces, or Ragnarok introduces, a couple of new mechanics into its gameplay. Heather, is there anything that's kind of jumped out? That's been quite notable for your enjoyment of it.
I think there's a lot more that I think sort of throwbacks to the very early games. So not sort of all the way to quick time events, but there are some that feel a little bit more in line with that, which I like. I feel like any sort of stumbling that I had with the combat the first time around feels a bit more ironed out now. I I'm playing on like a moderate difficulty, so like I'm pretty happy to admit that I am dying quite regularly, but
Okay.
it's like I mean it's so quick to sort of, reload back in. It's not really that much of a big deal. Um and I feel like sort of playing that way for me, I like it because it's like health is a bit scarce and you sort of like I like to be able to sort of like concentrate on what I'm doing with the combat because there's such a big system like in the first one. So mechanics wise, combat wise, I sort of like what they're doing. There's a bit more interactivity with the world, which I really like as well. And yeah, like Laurie said, in terms of like the story and the relationship with Atreus, like that's developed as well in the combat as well. So
I just love how well written that is, and then with Mimir in there as well. And one thing I've noticed just very early on is there'll be a cutscene that will happen, and then you'll see there's been an update to his journal. So you look at that, and it adds extra depth to what Kratos is thinking and his views on things. And the diary entries are really funny, just the way that the little asides and the tone that he takes in his diary. And I think in the first one it was Atreus who was writing it, wasn't it? Am I right in thinking that? Is that right?
Yeah.
And so this is now the diaries from Kratos' point of view, and it's really blunt and it's just really funny, like his views on Mimir and stuff. I won't say what I need for Mark because they're fun to discover, I think, for yourself, but they are always worth reading.
I think there's been a few bits of lore that I've come across that are much shorter than the previous game. So you don't sort of lose anything by you actually gain more from picking them up and sort of like checking them out and seeing like how it builds on everything else. Whereas I mean I'm really bad for just getting it and never reading it. So this being much shorter and much sort of blunter does work really well.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the combat though. I like the new moves they've done with the triangle where you can charge up both your weapons. That's not a spoiler because they've been talking about that in all the sort of marketing build-up comms. There's some new moves they've introduced there, so they add a nice new extra dynamic to the combat. I like that. I like the enemy variety as well. Already, there's lots more. They said that was a fault from the first game that they got. They had that feedback, and they've made a real point here to try and change that, and that feels like it as well. Definitely, in just the opening hours, there's lots of new enemies.
No, absolutely. Well, it's reviewed well. I think it's short to say. So 94 on Metascore at the moment. 8.3 for user score, but I'm assuming that's the standard Sony review bombing that other people seem to give it. I've only played probably about an hour and a half of it, and I played through the intro 2 or 3 times because Sophie's little sister came round and wanted to play it, so we were kind of talking through it. One of the story beats that happens in like the first 20 minutes got me choked up at one point. I think probably remember. Yeah, just again from a position of. Okay, I don't want to spoil it. I'm not going to spoil it. So yeah, if you've had pets, I think this is the very touching moment in that first 20 minutes, which is really cool.
And just to interrupt you, just the touching moment, just because again, how well done that bit is with the animation and the sound effects of that, and just that moment and the music as well. It's so it's rare for a video game to have to manipulate you in a kind of good way and your emotions in that way. It's that uncanny valley has been kind of overcome with the animal in question.
It's the first time I think since Returnal where I've been playing a game with the DualSense and the headset on, and just been completely immersed as well, where everything's felt purposed and felt right and really well constructed. I haven't really had that from many other games, like I said, since Returnal. So, but yeah, the story beats in the first hour or so. Like you just said there, Laurie, loads of other games, films, movies do those same beats, but no one really executes it on the way that they seem to be able to do at Santa Monica, where even like in 2018, just Kratos touching a tree in a certain way, because he's this stoic, horrible, gruff character that's been through the mill. I think that's putting it lightly. Well, the Greek gods. You're then put in a position where he's then vulnerable, and that vulnerability within the first like 20 minutes comes out almost immediately, which I'm really happy to see as well. It's not like a game where it loses its power and it wants to tell maybe a similar story to what it did in the first one and take you on that same journey. It very much throws you in exactly, albeit a couple of maybe months, years, whatever, after the first 2018 installment. But it feels
5
emotionally,
years.
it feels emotionally leading on from it, and that protectiveness and the actual care that he's showing towards Atreus, really resonated with me. So it is a good game. It seems like a really good game.
It is.
I think it's fair to say.
And just on the sort of technical side of it, and people say, "Oh, it's just a PS4 game," but it's a PS4 game that runs amazingly smoothly at 60 frames per second. It looks, even on, I'm playing it on performance mode because I'm a sensible person that wants to play this at 60 frames per second. But it's still, the resolution still looks brilliant to me.
Oh no, it's ridiculous.
Even. And that with the haptic feedback and the 3D audio. 3D audio really makes a difference to this, because you do get enemies high above you or behind you that you can hear where they're coming from, which does make a difference to the gameplay. And I just love it in these games, these kind of big first-party AAA games where everything comes together with the haptics, the audio, the graphics, and the sound, and the direction of it all. It just makes such a good package. And honestly, if it looks like a PS4 game that does all those things on top of that as well, that's fine by me. The God of War 2018 looks amazing. It did in 2018, so it doesn't need to do anything more dramatic than that. But just to do all of it with the polish that this package has is fantastic to play.
Speaking of packages, did you guys go for the standard version? Stop laughing. Yeah.
I went.
Hopefully you're going to comment on Kratos' then.
Well,
I went for the standard game pre-order, so it came with the little tin poster that it's still just on the dining table. I was like, what am I going to do with this? Nothing.
I went for the
in poster. That's not supposed to do this.
Honestly, yeah.
display or whatever it's called. I went for the Jotner edition, which was the ridiculously expensive 230 quid, and the box was like that. It was insane.
Right. But were you not disappointed that you don't have a physical disc after all that?
100%.
100%. I mean, I was never going to buy it anyway because that's ludicrous. No offense. But I could not commit to not having a disc in that box.
I know, yeah.
Sorry. It's so strange. I don't understand why they do that.
But you can't go to bed with Thor's hammer, so that's all I'm saying is, who's the loser here, Heather? But yeah,
it's probably you, but yeah, okay.
Shut up. Some of the bits that came with it, I'm just going to quickly show you, because I thought...
I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm completely jealous. But...
So there's the pin badges that come with it. Real premium metal. Nicey.
Got the good rubber backs as well, it's more secure.
Yeah, we like the rubber back. So here is...
Beautiful.
The one thing that I can't really get on with, which is the Kratos' ring.
Again.
You should be wearing it. Come on, pop it on. Special show. Gotta wear it. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful.
Wedded to the game. And then there's this one.
When you do your Kratos cosplay at the next EGX, you're going to look great.
So basically a load of dice.
Ooh, do like that. Yep.
Yeah,
yep.
Load of dice.
Oh god, are you telling me there's a dice minigame in this game?
Love them. Oh, I hope so.
I really hope so.
Give me a Gwent game any day.
Ooh, Gwent.
Stuff like that.
Marvel Snap. 1 or 2. And then...
Where's the hammer? Stop showing me all this other stuff.
The hammer's upstairs in the loft. I'm saving that. And then...
The loft?
These nice
what?
little...
Instantly, me and Laurie were like, what?
Where's the... Show me the hammer!
Oh, down a bit. Down a bit, babe.
Down a bit.
There you go.
Love it.
Oh, it's Freya and Freya. Nice. Yep.
and then the Steelbook as well, which is fan-dabby dozy. But yeah, there was so much stuff in there. It was a very good premium edition. It was not worth, or is not worth, 230 quid. However, for the premium quality...
Not? Gosh, I'm shocked.
Shut up.
I'm shocked to hear that.
Shut up. I got excited. I was stupid.
No, I'm teasing you. I think getting stuff like that, to open packages like that is fantastic. There's so much fun to open and just unpack a whole treasure trove of stuff. So good on you. I think if you want it,
more power to you. It's fine.
Who cares how much
you do what you want.
If you want it,
more power to you guys.
It's right. If you want it, it's what you earn money for. Go out, treat yourself.
You've benefited from this stupidity in the past. You've still got that lovely Steelbook that I gave you.
Yeah, I'll be eyeing out that God of War Steelbook. That will be mine one day.
So we are going to do, I reckon we do a spoiler cast of God of War at some point once we've all finished it. I can't think that'll be too far in the future. And then maybe we commit half an hour. Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, I'll be doing the same.
I'm trying to get it done before the rumoured Witcher 3 upgrade on December 9th.
Oh,
God. I want to play for it quickly because I've muted every word I can related about God of War on Twitter.
Yeah,
and as soon as I'm kind of missing out on this conversation about it, because usually I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm playing a game and see what everyone's hot takes are on it and stuff, but every word of it I've muted. So yeah, I'm trying to finish it before any spoilers make it through the firewall.
Speaking of firewalls and things that people need to try and get through, Sony PSVR 2 suddenly looks even more appealing as processor info revealed. So T3.com have spoken about the PSVR 2. It continues. MediaTek Summit 2022 held in Sonoma, California. The Taiwanese-based chip maker revealed it is the partner providing the system-on-chip solutions for Sony's virtual reality kit. That's solutions plural, as it will be involved in multiple areas of the hardware spec. Why does that matter? You may not be familiar with the company, but you probably already own a device with a MediaTek chip inside of it, whether that's a TV, an Amazon Kindle, or a Peloton. This is a company with considerable experience in a wide range of markets, especially mobile, where it was also just announced its Dimensity 9200 chip. So, in the PSVR 2 specifically, there are two custom-made chips. The second for the display controller, another one for microcontroller and controller paddles. And given the company's experience in display technology, it owns circa 70% market share in smart 4K TVs. That means we're in safe hands when it comes to visual processing. Now, why am I focusing on this article, might you well ask? Because I don't want to buy this thing. I doubt Heather wants to buy this thing. I full well know Laurie wants to get this. There is no salient reason as to why somebody would go out and criticise, one, the God of War Jotner edition, and then say, I want a console that requires a PS5 to play it, which baffles me, and it's a fancy headset, which will make me feel sick. Laurie, why are you buying this thing? How much is it now?
£5,000. It's like £530.
Something like that.
530 or 570 if you actually want to play a game on it. Which
are we all in agreement? That's ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very ridiculous.
Why are you still getting it then?
That's why the same reason you picked up a God of War Thor's hammer.
Yeah.
No, not having that at all. You can't buy something like that. That is over half of £1,000, and then you're at the point of going.
I'd say that.
Yeah, but just get one of the blooming other headsets that you don't need a console for.
The Google.
But I have a console already, though. I don't get this argument. It's like, you have it's £1,000 all in. It's like, well, it's not because I already own a PlayStation 5 and I was going to own that anyway. I have a Labo VR and it's really shit VR. It's quite fun to play with, but it's not proper VR, obviously. No, I mean, I've already got the PS5, so I don't like the fact that you need a PS5 to play it is utterly irrelevant to me. So if you now, from the position I am owning a PS5, if I want to get a headset, what's the what's the Oculus ones? They're like 300, 400 now.
399. I think.
So
yeah, 399.
399. Okay, so it's not that much more than that, and this is going to have Sony first-party exclusives on it. It's going to have Astrobot on it. It's going to have Horizon Call of the Mountain on it. You're not going to get those on anything else. So that's why I want this one over other headsets.
So
and you see the specs of it. It's proper. It sounds like they've not compromised on the quality of it, which I'm pleased about. I would rather it be the price it needs to be to hit the quality level that they're going for, rather than them sort of making compromises and scaling back what's inside it to hit a certain price point that people feel it needs to be reasonable. The fact that with this one it's got the onboard cameras, so you don't need a separate camera like you did for the first PSVR. It's got the two cameras, the two controllers in the box of it, so you don't need to buy those stupid Move ones like you did the first time. You're getting a lot of stuff in the box and a lot of tech packed into the headset, if you ask me. And yeah, it is expensive, and you could get Oculus cheaper than that. But if you're comparing it one or the other, it's £100, £200 difference. But the games I know are going to be on this that I'm going to want to play, and they're going to be able to leverage the PS5's power to create experiences that the Oculus isn't going to be able to compete with.
You Sony shill. So basically, I've just been actually looking here. I might be proven wrong for once in my life. So there are other alternatives. So the Valve Index is $999, so that's more expensive. All versions of the HTC Vive, $749 is the cheapest you can get the Vive Cosmo Elite. HP Reverb G2 is $599. Let's have a look. So yeah, the only really competitor for the mass market is the Quest 2, which is now starting at $399, but originally was $299. So I'm guessing there'll probably be a couple of Black Friday deals for that as well, where it'll go back down to that original $299. But again, that's a standalone VR headset.
And I'm never going to have a PC. I'm never going to buy a gaming PC. That's not. It's never going to happen. So those sorts of headsets are just.
I think that's the point, isn't it?
No, but that's what, so your Vive ones and stuff. My point is, you can rule those out. So for me, if I want to get a VR headset, it's the Quest 2 or PSVR 2, and the price isn't that much difference between them. And the PSVR 2 is going to have able to play games of a much higher caliber and quality if you compare the specs of those like for like. I feel like the PSVR 2 is a kind of halfway between the high-end PC VR and what the Quest 2 can do. So it's
saying on here, it actually makes the case that it's about the same cost as the original PSVR as well, because you had to buy the camera and the Move controllers, which took you to at least $499. Doesn't need the external camera, like you said, and it drops the controllers into the box, which is ideal. It also says on here, this is the 6axis.com, by the way, the price is also justified by the features, where the original PSVR made sacrifice to hit its price point. PSVR 2 is cutting edge in many ways. Beats all but the Vive Pro 2 and HP Reverb in terms of per eye screen resolution. It also features like headset vibration, eye tracking, the sense controllers building, and all the haptics of the DualSense, and adding more sensors to detect finger placement. Yeah, so you know what? I actually might take it back. It does seem quite a good deal if you are really wanting to invest in VR. It makes more sense. I think it's just when I was comparing it to the Quest 2. Heather, have you VR'd in the past? Is there anything you're interested in? Or
yeah, I have done. I've got a PC one, whatever the PC one is. It was out before, which was why my sound wasn't working. And I've got the PSVR 1. I get about 20 minutes, and then I get like the sweats and the motion sickness, and it just goes off.
Yeah, same. I played Star Wars Squadrons, was it?
Yeah.
And I played that for like 30 minutes and had to go to the toilet to vomit. And it was my own fault. I didn't even think about it. I was just enjoying it so much. And then I was like, oh no, this is not good for my eyes. So
again, it makes me feel funny not on VR.
Yeah, space fighting.
Spinning around. Yeah.
Not ideal. I mean, let's just see what it does day one. It'll be quite curious to see how it sells. And then hopefully we get it on sale after a while, after Laurie wastes his money.
I do think it is a tricky price for them. It's going to put a lot of people off, but I don't know what people want, because to do VR, you either do it cheaply or you do it well. It's like that project management thing. It's like you can either have it done cheaply, you have it on time, or you can have it done well. It's like you can choose two. So you can either have cheap VR and it's not going to be very good. That's kind of what PSVR 1 was. Or you can have VR done really well, and that's going to be expensive. It is expensive tech, and there hasn't. The VR market. It's not there yet. You're probably looking at 5-10 years from now. PSVR 3 is before it comes down to that price that you get everything at the quality you want at the price that consumers think, oh, that's a bargain.
He's played my cost, time, and quality card against me. I love it. Can't win.
You taught me well, Dan.
Yeah, project management. You got me. Okay, well, I think the consensus on it is let's wait and see. We'll let Laurie get one talk about it. So when's it actually due out now?
February the
February.
I don't know, sometime in February. Pre-order on Tuesday though, so I shall be doing that for my sins.
Who are you going to pre-order with? Just out of curiosity.
You can only do it on the PlayStation's own, the
okay.
Sony store. I think I could be wrong, and I presume you'll be able to pre-order everywhere soon, eventually. But I think on Tuesday it's just going to be the PlayStation's own store.
Interesting. Okay, well, let you
So,
suck it and see.
yeah.
See where you get to. Cool. That is your lot for this week. Thank you for joining us on our fortnightly adventure. If you want any MOAR of this ruckus or even podcast about other consoles and a separate Xbox podcast,
What?
sorry, Alex. Head on over to thecrossplayers.com, and if you click on the Discord link, you can find all of our rowdy bunch lurking about in there. If you want to go a whole step further, head on over to patreon.com/thecrossplayers and throw some cash to us. We also had some banging teas available. And guess what? I've got a mustache at the moment. Heather's not got one, but she's participating. Laurie isn't participating, but he's helping because he's part of the team. We're doing Movember because it is, as we were recording, the 13th of November. So if you go over to Movember.com and then you search for the Crossplayers, you will find my ugly mug. You'll find Ben, Andrew, Heather, and Lewis. All of our accounts on there. Donate to Heather. Give Heather the money. Come on, she needs it. Put it towards her account. Come on, she's trying.
Put up with you guys.
That's it. She puts up with us. She's fine. But we're going to be doing a load of stupid stuff on the 26th of this month as well. So stay tuned. Keep on look on Discord. Have a look on Twitter. And the guys in the WhatsApp group as well. You will be getting pelted with images describing exactly what we're doing. Heather, it's been a pleasure.
Pleasure and joy.
Enjoy God of War. Enjoy God of War. Enjoy God of War. Laurie, enjoy God of War. Enjoy God of War. Enjoy God of War.
Sure.
And remember, play cross.
Button.
Ah, you both did it. It's even better now. Night.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.